You know, when you meet people who are part of, Prepaid Legal or some of these other companies, Mary Kay, although a lot of the companies, the majority of the people never make money. It's not even that they don't make a lot of money, they never actually turn a profit. They spend more money than they make. But the one thing that they all have in common about their experience is that all these different companies, and us included, is the self-improvement aspect of what we do. You're going to get a large part of your attendance is going to come because people want to learn how to get better. Nowhere in their life is anyone teaching them how to get better. At a job, they're not teaching you how to get better out of fear that you're going to take the person's job above you, right? Or that you're going to leave and go out on your own. They want to keep your skill sets where they are. Yes. The majority of the time. Here, we get paid more if we can help and develop people to be better than where they were when they came in, right? So self-improvement is a huge part. And that's what I liked about training as well. It's like, what can I learn today to adjust my thinking and think like a person that is successful? You know, you hear a lot of people, and I can say this 10 years in. You know, you can't say this when you first start. Josh can't say this to somebody. But when somebody tells me, I want to think about it, or I've decided to do this or not do that, and it's against the instructions that I've given them, the first thing, I don't say this because it's a mean thing to say, but in my mind I'm thinking, why would you think that you could make that decision? What track record do you have in your decision making that you would think that you could make a decision better than the one that I'm telling you to make? Again, it's not something that I'm going to say to the person, but it's what I'm thinking. And is it not true? Yeah. Right? If Bruce tells me, for Primerica, not my religion, not my personal life, but if he says in Primerica, in business, in money making, in success, this is what you need to do, and I say, I'm going to do this, how dumb would that be? If somebody says, I'm going to start a franchise, right? The franchisor says, this is what you need to do to be successful. We have 1,000 locations, and you say, no, I'm going to do it my way. How dumb would that be? People have faulty thinking. That's why they can't make money, they don't save money, they can't manage money, they can't attract money, they can't build something, they can't keep people around, and self-improvement helps us develop all the qualities we need to reach our goals. It's everything. You know? Like, it's just fun. This is the first thing I think. Winnie says, I say, hey, where's your recruit? She said, and every week it's a different excuse. This time it's, I got to go to the DMV. Okay? It's funny, and the person is the nicest person in the world. It doesn't make them a bad person, but what it tells me is this is a person that has no interest in getting better. Because we teach people how to get better. There are Primerica meetings where maybe you would want to be at the DMV and not at the meeting, but I know for a fact that's not this one. I know for a fact it's not this one. Because we're going to give you the tools. And the people in front of the room are making money. You know, my mom was telling me that my sister, she got laid off from Goldman Sachs. She could have another $200,000 a year job instantly, but because she had her first child, she's like, I want to stay home, and her husband works. And I was like, oh, how's he doing? And she said, oh, he's, you know, in the beginning, same story, it's like a broken record. She's like, in the beginning, he was working from home, it was good, but now they're working him like crazy, and the last couple nights he's been staying in a hotel because he's been working all day, all night, he can't even come home. Okay? Now he makes 200. He makes 200, he works in New York City, right? But I'm thinking like, damn, I make more than him, and I literally don't even have to work. It's all passive. Right? Yeah, I come to meetings and all that, and I will have to get to work, Mary, if I want to go from 2 something to 4 something, right? But it's unfreaking believable, and people don't want to show up to the meeting. Right? So, let's go do this. The number one quality of a successful person is that they accept responsibility for everything. Everything! It's because of you, right? Where you work, how much you make, how much you have, how you look, how much you weigh, whether you're, serious about certain things, if you have a good relationship, if you have a good marriage, if you have a bad marriage, if you're, everything, every single thing you attract into your life. And people who accept the most responsibility are the ones that are going to be more successful. Because think about it like this. If you're not, Mary, saying, it's my fault for everything, right? And you're assessing what we call blame on something else, someone else, whether it's the government, whether it's, a boss, whether it's a sibling, whether it's a parent, whether it's a spouse, whether it's a circumstance, right? Whether it's a disability, whether it's a disadvantage. Whatever you're assessing blame to, you are now saying, I don't have control over that, which means I don't have control over my life. That means I can't go where I want to go, and now I lose control and I can't accomplish my goals. When you accept responsibility, you're saying, if everything's my fault and I'm the one that is, whatever effect, I'm the cause, now I can change my whole life. That's the way you got to think about it. If you're still thinking, this is happening to me because of such and such as you're thinking is out of your control, now you don't have control, you can't reach your goals. Very simple concept, but it's profound. Every single thing is your fault. But guess what? Once you admit that, now you can change it. Now you can change it. Right? This is a huge concept. I was listening to something the other day, and I have to give credit because I'm not smart enough to say this, but it was really cool. That what they were saying was that they said that in the election, people are not just voting for the candidates, they're voting for the movement the candidate represents. Right? People didn't just vote for Barack Obama because of Barack Obama. He represented a movement of change, right? A movement of hope. People say, I want hope, I want change. It's not the person, it's the movement. Now people look at Trump, right? Hillary is just a candidate. Trump is a movement. People say, how could somebody, but it's not him. They're overlooking all that stuff because they want to vote for the movement that he represents, which is we want change. We don't want the same 8 years. We don't want another Clinton. We don't want Obamacare, right? So people are voting for Trump. They're voting for change. Now, why do people want change? Why is it easier to get someone elected that is promoting change versus just a regular candidate? Because people don't accept responsibility for where they are, so they say this person should be able to help me change. There's I was like, God, this is so smart. That's why. I don't like where my industry is going. I don't like where my job is going. I don't like where my life is going. This person is saying things can change. I will vote for that person. Because I can't do it myself. Because the government, because this, because that. So let me go vote for the person that can help me get what I want. That's what happened. That's what happened with Barack. That's what happened with us. It's a movement because people don't want to accept responsibility, right? So what's a clue that you are a victim? When you blame, right? Oh, because of this person, because of this situation, because of this circumstance, I am where I am. Justifying, right? Oh yeah, I do this, but it's because blah, 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 blah. Right? I know I should be doing it, but blah, 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 right? That blah, blah, the justifying, you're a victim. And there's no such thing as a really rich victim. Rich people, wealthy people, accept responsibility. They're not blaming others and then getting rich. Where am I getting this stuff from? Secrets of the Millionaire Mind, which is the best book in the world, right? He taught me something in that book very early on, and I hear it all over with successful people. You can't become something that you resent. People resent. I hear my parents talk, they resent rich people. They do. They don't come out and say it. It's in the underlying things that they say, and now I'm at an age and I'm at credibility, I correct them. In the beginning, I didn't do that. You can't do that, right? I was like, Mom, why'd you just say that? Right? People talk about, even companies, when they say, or someone says, oh, now that person is giving back. What does that mean? They got what they got from taking? Right? All these little things. You can't resent something and then become it. You have to be happy for successful people. You have to be happy for rich people. You have to respect people, okay? If they're respectable, not if they really are bad people. But just because someone has money, you don't want to resent them because then you're never going to have money. And a lot of poor and middle income people, they resent rich people, but who are the ones in the lines trying to win the lottery? Right? We talk about them, we want to bring them down, you're in line trying to beat them. It's funny, right? It's a funny world we live in. Think positive. People say, God, you're really positive, right? Well, what's the opposite? Negative? Are you positive? Are you solution-oriented? Now, I say this all the time. My mom will come to me because I'm the problem solver in the family. They figured that out, right? So they come to me and they're like, your sister and this and that. I'm like, just, what do you want to accomplish from this? They want to talk about everything that's wrong. I just want to, what do you need to happen? Well, we need this. Okay, let's get that done. Be solution-oriented. A lot of times people, you just want to talk about what's going on. You have to get rid of that, where you have to constantly talk about the things that are going wrong. Go right to the solution. What's the solution in your life that's going to solve everything? Let me give you a secret. A lot of them are money related.
Yes.
Oh, that's not true. I have cancer. If you had an extra $200,000, there's a lot of places you can go in this country and you can get rid of cancer. Stage 4, what I see happen, all I read about, I study it, I meet the people. Does the best healthcare go to the people who deserve it? No, it's the people that can afford it.
Yes.
A lot of the things that are keeping, that the issues that we have are money related. Be solution oriented. Be positive, right? Be really positive. You know why? Because it's attractive. People want to be around positive people. They don't want to be around dump trucks. You're just dumping your garbage on people. Right? Okay, so you got a flat tire coming here. Who cares? Why do I need to know that? Why? Why do I need to know the whole story about what happened? How is that going to help my day? How is it helping you to talk about it? Oh man, I had this many people, and then this person didn't show, and this, that. Hey, what you focus on grows. What you think about, you become. You're only talking about the things that go wrong. You're just creating a pattern of those things happening because it's all you think and talk about. You got to think about the things that are going well, the things that are going right. Catch yourself. Are you looking for sympathy? Are you looking for someone to commiserate? Right? After the meeting, yeah, man, I had 6 invited, no one came. How about you? You guys talk about everyone who didn't show up. What's productive about that? I always do that with Josh. Like and he's learning. He's lived with me now for a little while. Okay, if you guys don't know that, he lives with me. Freaking, I don't deal with this. And but he's learning because I used to say he used to come to me and he'd think that he could have because he happens to see me in the morning or late at night in the evenings. He's never home because he's working, which is what he should be. And he'll have a conversation with me, and I'll always stop and be like, what's the importance of this conversation? And now it doesn't happen anymore because he knows. He thinks about it before he comes to me. My brain cannot handle small conversations, right? Yeah. Be positive. Talk about things that matter. Talk about things that are relevant, right? Thoughts can become habits too. So if you do something enough physically, it can become a habit. What a lot of people don't understand is that your thought process, there's habits of thought as well. So if something goes wrong, you make an excuse, that becomes a habit of thought. Every time something goes wrong, you're thinking excuses. Every time something doesn't happen, if you start thinking, what's wrong with me, you develop that inferiority complex. You have to monitor your thought process. This is deep stuff, but it's stuff that you just have to learn if you want to be successful. Successful people think differently, right? So you want to make sure you're developing the right habits. This is a big one, right? In self-improvement. You can't be a slave to your feelings. What successful person ever feels like doing anything that they have to do? oh, they're so lucky, Beyonce, she gets to perform for a living. How much work does she put into that? Do you think she just goes on stage like, yes, no. How much? No sleep, the physical toll, the diet you have to be on, the expectation, the reviews, the social media. Oh, athletes, oh man, they get to do what they love for a living. It's like, hey, you miss a shot, people crucify you on social media. People talk about you, the analysts. Every single thing in your personal life, you're on TMZ. Nobody feels, but you do what you got to do to succeed. How you feel, this is so profound when I heard, it's like, dude, what does it matter what you feel? What you feel is irrelevant from what you have to do. And most people, they're a slave to their feelings. If I don't feel like working out, I'm not going to work out. If I don't feel like, watching my diet, if I feel like eating it, I'm going to eat it. If I feel like going there, I'm going to go there. If I feel like saying it, I'm going to say it. If I don't feel like going to the meeting, I'm not going to go, right? You got to do what you got to do. A lot of you guys, a lot of people know I go to CrossFit, right? So a lot of times people ask me, how was CrossFit? What did you do in CrossFit today, right? Are you going to CrossFit? They know my schedule because I have a very routine schedule, right? A lot of times when I talk to people, I say, I really don't want to go today. It doesn't matter. There's never been a time, never, where I'm like, I don't feel like going, so I'm not going to go, because I've conditioned myself. How you feel doesn't matter. You're not always going to feel like setting appointments. You're not always going to feel like taking notes. You're not always going to feel like reading. You're not always going to feel like prospecting. You're not always going to feel like going on that appointment, asking someone again, following up, answering that phone call, talking to your mentor, talking to your trainer, setting the goals, waking up, writing them down, but feelings are irrelevant. And when you think like that, you'll become a professional. This is a shame if you're not doing this yet. This is like, when it comes to success, this is like elementary school, setting goals. Preschool. All we're saying is, know what you want. Doesn't have to be Primerica, it could be in general. You have to know what you want. You have to have a target. Some of you guys, you say, oh, I'm not doing as well in my business or this, that. What is your goal? Not having a goal is wandering. You have no idea where you're going, what direction. What's the cliche? If you don't know where you want to go, any road will take you there. That's why people work at jobs, right? That they don't like. Let's say that, right? People work at jobs that they don't like, making money they don't want because they never thought about what they really wanted. I was reading this book and it was saying that, what's intelligent and what's stupid. And he said, what's intelligent is when you make a decision that helps you get closer to what you want. When you do something stupid, it's when you do something that gets you further from what you want. So what's smart and what's stupid is determined by what you want. I can't judge that. If you work a crappy job that isn't ever going to pay you, but you didn't ever want to be rich, who am I to say that you're a bad person? But for me, that would be a very stupid decision. Get it? So first you have to know what you want, then we can determine what's an intelligent decision, what's an unintelligent decision. That's all it is. It's not a book. It's not a test, right? Do you make intelligent decisions? Are the decisions you're making getting you closer to where you want to go? Or are you making stupid decisions that are taking you further away? Well, guess what? If you don't know what you want, you're just going through life. You have to figure out what you want. Why don't people have goals? Because it requires thinking, and people would rather die than think. That's what the book said. That's what the book said. Right? Right now, if I was like, yo, in the next, before tonight, think about 5 things that you want to do in your life, accomplish in your life, have in your life, only 20% of you would do it. Isn't that amazing? Literally, just think about, Herndon, what you want. What could be, that's supposed to be fun, it's supposed to be exciting, but it requires thinking, so most people aren't going to do it. people don't want to think. Like if we can't even think about what we want, where are we going to end up? Then the next step is, John, like, okay, you thought about it, can you write it down? Is your life and what you want to have and what you want to accomplish, is it worth, 1 minute a day of writing it down in the morning? But we do so many other unproductive things. And this is big, right? Adversity. I've just stopped sympathizing for people. I've been through so much. I've and I'm blessed, okay? And God's given me all the willpower and the knowledge and this company and all the training, So I've been very, very blessed. You guys take a break. But at the same time, it's like you're going to go through it too. You're going to go through life. Life happens. All we can do is prepare you for life. We can't. Whatever happens, happens, right? But I'm not going to sympathize. I went through the times where I couldn't put gas in my car. I went through the times where I didn't have enough to eat. And yeah, I could have asked my parents. I just didn't want to do it, right? So it's not like I was poor or anything like that. I chose to struggle versus going and asking someone else for a favor. Never in my entire career here, Shaq and our other buddy that was in Primerica that built this, and I came under them, they were literally rich, and I was still just getting by. I've never once, you can ask him, I've never once asked him to borrow a dollar. Ask him. Hey, Samir ever asked you for money? Never happened. This is like my brother. Hey man, you want to go here and eat? Nope, can't go. They'd go shopping, they'd buy the shoes, they'd buy the jackets, they'd buy everything. My favorite thing to do in the world is shopping. I didn't ask them, can you buy me, can you cover me? Nothing. Never. Right? I've been through it all, man. I've been through a divorce, I've been through a relationship, I've been through the parent thing, I've been through, everything that you can think of that a normal person will go through. You're going to go through it too. How are you going to come out of it? Life is not what happens to you, but it's how you respond to it. 1% what happens, 99% how you respond. What's your response going to be? That's what I'm looking for. It's like, oh, this happened, that happened. All right, what are you going to do? That's what I want to know. What's your response? People say, oh, we want the smartest people. IQ. No. I want AQ, adversity quotient. What have you been through? Darius, time tested 6 times, he ain't going nowhere. You, smartest person in the world, passed the first time, I don't know, jury's still out. Oh man, that guy's such a stud, man. All his guests are showing up, everyone's signing up, first 6 clients signed up. Oh, okay, that's cool. Let's see what happens now. Can you handle adversity? Because it's coming, right? Can you handle it? What's next? These are the millionaire mind concepts. Rich people think both. Poor people think either or. This is a big one. This is a big one. Oh, if I'm working really hard in Primerica, then I can't be physically fit. Yeah, you're not going to be a bodybuilder. You may not even be able to do what I do in CrossFit because I be as, if an appointment comes up for me, someone else will gladly take it. You're not in that position, right? So, but is that an excuse to, you can't think either or. Oh, if I do Primerica, I'm not going to be able to raise my kids right. I've seen people do it and they make millions and they have amazing kids and I've met them. So are you thinking it's one or the other, or are you thinking both? A lot of people come to me, oh, I'm studying for securities, but I got to have my recruit. Do it all. You want to be a player, right? You want to be a performer? Do it all. Open the door again, please. For these meetings, we pay an extra $200 per meeting for them to turn the AC. an extra. On top of the rent I pay, they charge me per hour, minimum 4 hours of HVAC. Just letting you know. Rich people choose to get paid based on results, or choose to get paid based on time. Okay? I don't want to generalize too much. I mean, the book is just trying to get a point across. I'm not saying everyone who gets paid on time is poor. Okay? But it's a mentality. Think about what people say. They say, how do you get paid here? We say, transactions. We don't want to say commission, right? Even though there's nothing wrong with it.
Right.
What is commission? A percentage of the revenue you bring in. You bring in revenue, you get a percent. How awesome is that? Or you bring in all the revenue for the company and they give you peanuts. But that's called salary, so I like it.
Yeah.
So we say we get paid based on transactions, man. You can make this, you can make that, you can make this. Oh, but what if I don't? At my job, if I do nothing, as long as I sit there and I get the money, I like that. I want to get paid based on time. And that's how people think. Oh, how do you get paid here? Performance-based. Oh, so I could make nothing. Yeah, if you don't perform. Do you plan on performing? No. Okay, good job. Rich people are willing to promote and sell their value. Poor look down on promotion and selling. Okay? This is a big thing in the middle class and people that have jobs. Ooh, what are you selling now? Give me your pitch. What's your sales pitch? What are you soliciting? Da 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 da. Right? And they have these things like, dude, here. This is what it takes to win in business. I've met so many successful people. They're great promoters, even of little things. I remember Shaq had, he was going through a lawsuit, long lawsuit. It lasted like 6-8 months. And this lawyer he had was a top-notch, like he worked for, at one point, like Clinton or something like that. And I had a show, like, we had the same connecting flight, and I recognized his lawyer, and we sat next to each other on a plane coming from Atlanta. This dude has taken companies public, right? Multi-millionaire, private equity firm, unbelievable law firm. He's sitting next to me, and he's part of something where they're selling solar panels, and he's like, yeah, man, if you sell someone a solar panel, you can get this, you can get that. Wow. He's selling me on solar panels. Wow. This is what people do. He's a multi-millionaire. I mean, it's just like, oh, everyone thinks I'm trying to sell them something. Yeah, because most people are middle class and work jobs. Did you forget the rule? It's 80-20. For every one of you, there's 4 that are not you. You're always going to be outnumbered. There's always going to be more people that don't understand than do understand. We talk about it. Do you really get it? Why are you surprised? And the funny thing is, like, now the election is here, and what are they going to do? They want you to go hit the streets. They want you to take your time to campaign. And now, my mom's making the calls she wouldn't do for her own business. She's knocking on those doors she would never do for herself. Amazing, right? If you do it for the campaign, if you do it for Clinton, if you do it for Obama, oh yeah, that's, I believe in something, whatever you want to call it, civic duty, right? But don't you dare do it so you can turn a profit. Would you ever pay somebody something for less value than the money was? So the money that you're giving up, would you ever exchange it for less value? If you thought, like, would you ever intentionally rip yourself off? Like, I know this isn't worth it, but here you go. Do we do that often? Right? You pay for the gas because the gas is going to get you where you need to go. You pay for the clothes because you think it's going to make you look better, or it's a necessity, or it's a uniform, or it's something you need for work. Right? You pay for the house cleaning service because it's worth it for you. It's not worth your time, and the house is going to look better than if you did it yourself, maybe. You pay for the food because you think this is worth it. What I'm going to consume, it's going to make me happier. So why is making money bad? What people that have more, think about this. It's down to the core. People that are making a lot of money are providing a lot of value. okay? The amount of money you make is in direct correlation with how much value you're providing to the marketplace. That's the whole thing. It's like, oh, people got to give back. What did they give back? Something they took from someone else? No, that was an exchange of value. I value your money, but what I'm giving you back, you must value more. That's why you're paying for it. Right? Starbucks makes a lot of money, dude. I love this. It makes me happy. It starts my morning. It gets me up. It's part of my routine. I enjoy it. I will happily give them $3.43 every morning for this. So if they do that 1 billion times around, it's $1 billion corporation. Good for them. It's making a lot of freaking people happy. And we demonize people that make money and big corporations. It's like wherever they're collecting the money, it's because they're providing more money to the person who's buying it than the money being spent. Money is an indicator of how much value you're providing. In Primerica, if you're making money, right, if people are buying your products, they see value in what you're offering. So you should have money goals. If we're only making money but we're providing value, why not set a big money goal? Because it means that you're what? Providing a lot of value. When you're not making money here, you're not providing value. And a lot of times it's because what? Because you listen to the 80%ers, you listen to the middle class people, you listen to the job people, and they said selling and promoting is bad, and now you believed it, and now you're scared to approach people about it. But then somebody dies, right? And then it's like, ooh, maybe I should have tried a little harder and not care about what people think. Everything in business, in recruiting, in everything, it's a mental game. The products, the group, it's all common sense. It's like, you sit down with an intelligent person, it's like, would you leave your job if you found a better one? If you found a better job, would you take that job? Yes. What would happen to your insurance? It ends. All right, sign me up, right? It's not that hard. But can you take the test 6 times? Look, for him it was the test. That was his test. That was his test literally, right? In the business, his test came early on. It was a test. What's your test going to be? Some of you guys have no problem getting clients. You have no problem passing your exams. Oh, securities, I'll do that too, 2-3 days. Okay, right? But you can't recruit anybody. Maybe that's your test. Everyone's going to have a test. For some it's clients, for some it's recruits, for some it's license, for some it's leadership, for some it's keeping people around, for some people it's just showing up. What's your test going to be? How are you going to overcome it? This is why people don't come to meetings. They don't want to be challenged. Man, let me just go to my job where I can just show up, do what I need to do, and leave. And then get back to my life. And have weekends again. Right? And talk about nonsense and useless stuff. And talk about why everyone else has what they have because they cheated someone, they took for it. This is what happens, man. This is why you can't hang around normal people. No, I'm really not. But this is just the way I think, man. It really is. Okay? But I think that if we can get our minds right, everything else will come to us. I truly believe that. When you set the goal brings with it everything you need for its accomplishment. So the goal has to be set first, then it's going to bring it. All right. Okay. So Dante's going to go on for a few minutes, so we don't want to be too loud, but we're going to break for appointments right now. And it's month end, so this one is serious. Okay. Book for today, book for tomorrow, book for Monday before 6, so you can close them on strong. Go pre. We're going to go over this later. 2,000. Okay. The appointments you set right now are going to determine whether you win that incentive or not. We're going to go to Long Island. We're going to go visit Coker. These are 2 people that make a lot of money that you're going to learn from, that have provided tremendous values, have big teams. Don't miss out on this. Okay. Team on 3. 1, 2, 3.